Welcome everyone, Christine here with Wings of Mengsk, a custom campaign mod for Starcraft 2 in the Wings of Liberty campaign, where the units that Raynor usually gets are replaced with Mengsk's units from co-op. Now this makes perfect sense, believe it or not, because Raynor's boys were part of Mengsk's forces, and they are on Mengsk's former flagship, the Hyperion. So this is going to be a bit of a different experience in the sense that yes, we do have a lot more power, but also this campaign's highest difficulty is called Nightmare, and to be certain from what I've played so far, it is absolutely ridiculous what it has on offer.
Mengsk held a press conference commemorating the end of the so-called Brood War some 4 years ago. Our own Kate Lockwell was on the scene.
Emperor, the threat of a new Zerg invasion is still very real. But instead of expanding our fleets, you've squandered trillions on hunting down has-been rebels like Jim Raynor.
Jim Raynor represents a clear and present threat to this Dominion. He is an unscrupulous, lawless revolutionary bent on spreading fear and dissension across the sector. He and his ragtag band of miscreants have instigated open rebellion across 6 separate worlds and stolen vast amounts of civilian weapons. This criminal will be brought to justice very soon.
It ain't over till it's over, you son of a bitch. Adjutant, are my troops ready yet?
Your forces are prepared and awaiting your orders, Commander. Uploading tactical data now.
Good. About time we kick this revolution into overdrive.
Backwater Station is the center of Dominion logistics on Sara. Destroying Dominion authority here will cripple Emperor Mengsk's operations throughout the planet.
Adjutant, what do you got for me?
Dominion forces have set up a logistics headquarters in the town of Backwater Station. This has become the hub for all operations on Sara. The Dominion recently pulled troops out of the city and they are now under strength.
Are the locals cooperating?
The people of Backwater Station are known to be anti-Dominion, but they lack weapons and organization.
If I can take that headquarters away from Mengsk, it'll cripple him on this planet. Prep my ship.
All right, boys. Let's show the locals they don't need to fear the Dominion.
So, a couple of bugs that I've noticed with regards to lip syncing, like Raynor, for instance, in some of the gameplay sequences when he's in the bar, when he's on the Hyperion, his face is not properly animated. I'm not quite sure why that is. It might be a Starcraft 2 bug, it might be a mod bug, it might be a combination of the two. But anyway, the first mission is the same old, though Raynor is quite a bit more powerful. And you also get Dominion troopers as part of this mission as opposed to Marines. Dominion troopers are very much a glass cannon unit. They do take a huge amount of damage, but they can also equip certain weapons, anti-air, a light machine gun, or a flamethrower weapon in order to give themselves a good amount of combat potential. So they can do a lot of damage, but they'll also die very quickly. So you gotta be concerned about that. In fact, the weapons themselves are more expensive than they are. But regardless, this mission is as usual, fairly easy, fairly quick. But then we meet Tychus.
This is a restricted area. Insurgents are under arrest. We got your back, Raynor.
Here's roll. Time to go. Sounds like a plan. You can count on it. Raiders roll. Sell me. What's up? Sounds like a plan.
think we could fight them, but we can.
Now you've got the weapons and the resources to do it. Remember, Mengsk can only control you if you let him.
Wanted man in the sector. You ain't that hard to find. I had to see it for myself. Little Jimmy Raynor, the people's hero.
Tychus Finley. Nice suit.
Pays to be prepared.
I heard they put you on ice. Life sentence. What? To give you time off for good behavior?
That's right, old buddy. I'm a model citizen now.
So to what do I owe the pleasure?
Just a friendly business proposition. Do you even know what the Dominion are doing out here?
I'm guessing you're about to tell me.
Digging up alien artifacts, old buddy. Your boy Mengsk has gone crazy for them. But I got a contact that'll pay top dollar for every artifact we liberate from the Dominion.
I guess I can hardly pass that up now. Can I, Tychus?
Partners then. 60-40.
70-30. My way. Feels like old times already.
Old times.
Call me curious, but how'd you get out?
Well, I busted out of my cryo freezer while they were transporting me to New Folsom. Oh, I must have killed at least a dozen guards with my bare hands.
Yeah, I've heard this one before. But you left out the part where you walked on water. Made off with the warden's daughter.
Don't you get uppity with me, boy. I heard all about you becoming a big-time freedom fighter while I was away. What happened, Jimmy? The war for truth and justice get too much for you.
I ain't licked yet, Tychus. And I promise you, Mengsk is going down, one way or another.
Thanks to your actions, Sara is now in a state of open revolt against Arcturus Mengsk. Ex-convict Tychus Finley has revealed the Dominion came to Sara to excavate an alien artifact. Seizing the artifact will strike another blow against the Dominion and generate funds from selling it to Finley's mysterious contacts.
This old outpost don't look like anything special.
Keep your shirt on, son. Dominion engineers been digging out here for months. See that crane? They're getting ready to move the artifact they found off-world.
Well, I'll be damned.
See? You gotta have a little more faith, Jimmy.
All right. Time to give the Dominion a wake-up call. Let's smash that base and haul that baby out of there.
Now, recovering the first artifact is where we start getting base building, and here is where things do start to become very interesting. Dominion troopers can be converted into laborers, and laborers can be converted into troopers, instantly, no cost, all that. You can train both of them from your command center. So you do start with some Dominion troopers, and you probably want to convert them into laborers at the beginning of missions, just for the economic bonus they provide. You do gather gas as you normally would. From the barracks, you train you train Royal Guard or special units. These units can rank up to a certain extent. So what you basically have in this is a number of regular soldiers that are very weak but can do a good amount of damage. Also, you have these heroes who can be healed, who can rank up, and you kind of want to keep them alive throughout the course of a mission. More importantly, you also get Jim and Tychus as heroes as well to use throughout the course of the campaign, which is really fun and very fitting as well. Like, yeah, I did have a bit of an issue in the original campaign that basically Tychus and Raynor were mostly staying on the ship, not really getting engaged in the actual fighting. Here, they are going to play a fairly active role in the fights themselves, and I think that's a really good change compared to the base game. But to be clear, there's a lot more enemies to deal with in this mission, and they're a lot tougher as well. So you're not just dealing with Marines, medics, you're also dealing with dropships on your base. The enemy has more tanks in their base. They're also trying to build structure. So the AI has certainly gotten very different build orders than they do in the vanilla game. So you do have a lot of power, and your army, if you do keep it alive and properly leveled up, can absolutely annihilate anything that stands in their path. But things do cost quite a bit. Like, the Royal Guard are not necessarily so expensive in terms of minerals, at least the Sons of Korhol, which are like your Marine unit, or Special Marine unit. But they do cost gas. Dominion Troopers don't cost gas, but yeah, they're pretty squishy. So you do have that kind of balancing act. Also, resources are fairly scarce, so I was running out of resources fairly quickly in this mission.
Outstanding. With that barracks and factory trashed, we just gotta mop up any stragglers and we're home free.
Break it down.
Crane controls accessed. Decrypting security overrides. Crane control established.
Beautiful. Now let's reel that sucker in and get out of here.
So who's your mysterious buyer, Tychus? Who are we supposed to hand this artifact over to?
A bunch of eggheads I ran into called the Mobius Foundation.
Mobius? They're a legitimate research group. Why the hell are they talking to you?
Soon as your boy Mengsk made it illegal to trade in alien goods, they got desperate. And you know me, Jimmy. I am a great patron of the sciences.
With the artifact secure, you need to wait for transport at Backwater Station before you can leave Marsara. Transportation is on the way. Caution is advised. Dominion security forces may succeed in tracking the artifact to the station.
I've got transport coming to pick us up. All we gotta do is sit tight.
Don't sound too hard. I figure we earned ourselves a little R&R.
Commander, I'm detecting a massive concentration of Zerg biosignatures landing at the abandoned dig site.
I should have known it. Damn you, Tychus.
I swear, man, I didn't know nothing about no Zerg.
Given their current course, the Zerg will overrun this location within the hour.
Hell, we gotta hold out long enough for extraction. If we man the bunkers and hold those two bridges as long as we can, we just might stand a chance. We're gonna have a real fight on our hands here.
I've been in plenty of holdouts before.
Not against the Zerg, you ain't.
So with that sorted out, we do need to hold until the Hyperion arrives to get us out of here, so we're playing a defense mission. Now, the original mission could certainly throw a lot of enemies at you, but it was very manageable. Here, if you don't build correctly, you're just going to be overrun by the end. So you do need a good amount of troops, you do need a bunch of upgrades. The engineering bay can upgrade the armor and damage of unit or Dominion troopers. Also Zerg will get into those in a separate video. But your heroes don't have those upgrades, they just do a lot better once you level them up. Now this does present an interesting change as well. Your bunkers are also your supply depot, so you obviously want to use them as bunkers, but if you lose too many of them you might end up at limited supply. Now what's changed compared to the original mission over here is the fact that the Zerg will drop units on your base via overlords or via drop pods, basically, far more often, far more aggressively, but that's still manageable. But then we get bonus objectives. So with the bonus objectives, and this was already the case in previous mission, with the bonus objectives you get some upgrades when you do them. And this means that bonus objectives are not just about like, oh, they're optional. No, they're gonna give you a direct, huge amount of power in the actual mission that you're playing, which means that the units you can rescue throughout this mission are not just useful in the sense of the combat power they provide. They were not especially that great, but since you do get heroes in every single group, and the final group especially gives you a lot of heroes, Sons of Korhal, so heroic space marines. But beyond that, specific situation, you are getting those upgrades, which will absolutely help you out. So, for instance, there's a bunker upgrade, which you can pick up by doing one of those objectives, like the final objective to complete the complete bonus objective. Otherwise, the mission does, feature roaches, zerglings, banelings, but at the end of it, as we're holding up quite well against the Zerg, things do have a change. Specifically, what ends up occurring is that the Zerg spawn a bunch of Nihilus worms in your base. So in your outer defenses they spawn one, and then in your main base they spawn two. And they send a lot of freaking units through this, including Ultralisks and Banelings, which can absolutely annihilate everything that you have if you're not careful about it. And these Nihilus worms are not necessarily the easiest things to take down either, even if you have a full heroic army. So it does actually lend itself to having a fairly satisfying ending where you're just getting swarmed not just by Zerglings, Roaches, and Hydras, but Ultralisks, Banelings, all that, and you're barely holding on. I admit it did take me 2 tries to get it done. I did not expect the final push at the end. That was quite very, very brutal. But once I figured it out, I was able to deal with it without too much trouble. And yeah, the Hyperion shows up and rescues everyone.
We're getting tore up out there. Gonna fall back to high ground.
Regulators ready.
Headed into the red dome.
Cavalry's arrived. Anyone still alive down there?
Good to see you, Matt. Welcome to the party.
Glad we made it in time, sir. Now let's get you boys out of there.
Cutting it pretty close there, Matt.
Never left you hanging before, sir.
Fair enough. Just get us the hell out of here.
All batteries, concentrate forward firepower. Spin up drives 2 and 6. All hands brace for warp jump on my mark. Mark.
What the hell happened? We ain't seen the Zerg in years. Why attack Sara now?
It's not just Sara. You need to see this.
Zerg Swarm launched a full-scale attack.
Devastation spread throughout all Outer Rim planets. Sustained heavy losses.
Casualties in the billions.
Minutes ago, the Zerg attacked a Dominion military research facility.
Sweet mother of mercy.
New exclusive video footage confirms the Queen of Blades is in fact leading the swarm.
We always knew she'd be back, but what's she after?
She's come to finish the job.
There's no telling what the Zerg will throw against us this time. Sir, we need to make sure our hardware and munitions are up to the challenge.
Yeah, I'll check in with Swan down in the armory. Knowing him, he's already got upgrades for us.
I hate to ask, sir, but is there a reason that convict's still on my bridge?
Easy, Matt. Tychus is one of my oldest friends. He helped me out of a real bind a few years back. I owe him.
Well, your friend has a criminal record as long as...
Mine? Believe me, if Tychus Finley wanted me dead, I'd be dead already.
Understood, sir.
Just how bad is it, Matt?
Zerg are attacking all over the sector, sir. Mengsk pulled the fleet back to protect the Dominion core worlds, leaving the fringe worlds to fend for themselves. It's a nightmare.
There's no way we can stop an alien invasion with one capital ship and a handful of volunteers.
Best we just stay clear, partner. We can earn ourselves a fortune working for Mobius while this whole thing blows over.
You don't get it, convict. This isn't gonna just blow over. The Zerg won't stop until we're all dead.
Don't worry, Matt. We ain't sitting this one out. But we're not exactly in tip-top shape either. We'll earn some cash and build up our forces so we can make a difference.
Our troopers are only as strong as their weapons. It's time to equip them.
One hell of a ship you got here, Jimmy. How'd you get a hold of a floating palace like this?
The Hyperion was Mengsk's flagship back in the day. Me and Matt decided to borrow her when we parted company with him. This old baby's seen us through some tight spots.
Speaking of tight spots, Tychus, why are you still wearing that suit on my bridge?
Yeah, what, you bust the zipper or something?
Okay, so I might have had a little help when I broke out of prison. Let's just say it came at a price. I get to stay locked up in this suit till I pay off all my debts.
And who's collecting those debts? Who sprung you?
They're Mobius boys, of course. I didn't just run into them in a museum, you know. They want them artifacts something fierce.
Your debts better not bite us in the ass, Tychus. Covering for your shenanigans ain't part of the deal.
Hey, everybody, our glorious leader has returned. Hey, man, what's up, cowboy?
What do you got for me, Swan?
The usual, building up our standing forces.
Bringing my troops and hardware up to speed, huh?
Yep, you can add upgrades for
Our
the tech
troops
right here on
need
the console.
leaders.
I'm building an army on
Expand the
running
Royal
machine.
Guard.
You brought back credits this time, right?
Look, I know money's been tight, but that artifact we just picked up from Sara is gonna solve everything.
Yeah, I've heard that before, brother.
It's different this time.
Yeah, I heard that one, too. Hey, everybody, our glorious leader has returned.
What do you got for me, Swan?
Hey, man, what's up, cowboy? What do you got for me, Swan? The usual, building up our standing forces. I'm building an army on the running machine. You brought back credits this time, right?
It's different this time. Upgrading what we got is all well and good, but when are we getting new hardware? A lot of gaps in our inventory right now.
Sometimes we take a job with some kind of new hardware, and I get a schematic for it so we can make more of them. The plans for other stuff, we gotta either beg, borrow, or steal.
And in terms of upgrades, we can upgrade either our bunkers, our marines, or our medics, who are heroic medics, so much more powerful individually. But everything is quite expensive over here, so I do decide to be a bit cautious with regards to how I'm going to spend my money. There is a specific medic upgrade that I do want, because it is extremely powerful, as it's going to reduce the damage of the units that are being healed, so I do absolutely want that. But yeah, that was a hectic mission, and very satisfying as well. Cosine here signing out. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and enable notifications, and stay tuned for more, because yeah, this is quite a bit of fun, and it just shows how much potential StarCraft 2 does still have, despite the fact that there's plenty of issues, bugs with StarCraft 2 at the moment.